Greetings everyone and welcome back to Mech Engineer. Now, in the last episode, we dipped our toes into a nest for the first time. It didn't go fantastically well, largely because I didn't quite understand how to navigate a nest properly, so we left pretty early on. But it did also highlight some problems, especially with the shellcrackers design that I am looking forward to getting sorted. And you know what? While we've still got 72 engineers available, why don't we go ahead and start this episode off by doing just that. Now, one of the biggest issues that we had is simply that we're burning through our ammo stockpile way too fast, and it might be worth us trying to tweak this a little bit. Now, we don't have a high-speed laser available for us to play with, sadly, but I could quite convincingly switch over to one of these. Now let's go ahead and pull all of this down. We've had these kinds of lasers previously, and that shouldn't be at all a problem. We are going to want this to engage pretty much anything out to this distance. Excuse me, bit of a frog in my throat there. Out to this distance, everything should be all right. Now we are going to want to push the damage up as much as we can, because that is going to affect the armor soak. And, well, maybe we could invest a wee bit into this. No, it doesn't really seem to be doing any real, having any real effect on that. Now, if I were to pump a little bit of extra power into this, it's already going to have a nice speed up effect. But, of course, we want a little bit of something more than this. Now, the nice thing about lasers is they are good at armor stripping. So having fire on there as well almost guarantees that you are going to be applying the fire's damage to whatever you're hitting. I think this is a good enough weapon as is. Now, trying to get this to slot into the shellcracker, now that's an entirely different kettle of fish. Right, we're going to get rid of that weapon. We are going to find our new laser. Now, as a consequence of that, we do not need as much weight. And I'm very happy with this, actually. What we could do at this point, if I were to, for example, grab one of these motors, just slot that in there. There we go. And that gives us all of the red wires that we need to hook up this laser. There we go. And we pull it back to about the same place. Though, we have lost a decent bit of our carry capacity. Okay. Maybe we are still going to have to roll with this then. It's a little bit of a shame. Oh, actually, that being said, we could drop a few things. We don't need this, for example. And do we really need all of this coating? Probably. But I'm willing to go down as low as 20 on coating. So having 30 there, that's perfectly fine. Now, that isn't the only change that we're going to want to make, though. We are also going to want to change out the weapon system on the rocket launcher. I decided that the current setup is certainly not good enough. We need to throw a little bit more at this. Unfortunately, if I've got this set up, I can't easily review it. It would be wonderful if there was an added, excuse me, an added module on here to allow me to select what I'm actually targeting. But let's just pull this right back and we can see. This is a gigantic explosion now. A truly monstrous one. And for most things, the limit... Right, we're going to need to move this limit around a little bit. I don't want this engaging on anything that is not pretty much as far away as we can make it. That far, at least. But Operarius, we definitely want you to never really be engaged. This is not a weapon for you. This is never going to be a weapon for you. I'm even tempted to say this isn't a weapon for even some of the specials. But maybe. We could say the same for Nest. Never use this to destroy a nest. A nest can be destroyed easily enough, but I think we'll keep with it. Right, so let's go ahead and equip the shellcracker with this. There we go. And actually that did pull down the weight a little bit, so we've got a little bit of extra that we can add in there. There we go. Right, now I'm going to need to do a bunch of testing to make sure that all of this works correctly. And interestingly, I never red wired that. So we absolutely have enough room to just hop that in, and we could probably do the same. Well, no, just a little bit under, but this does give us a lot more heat that we're going to be able to play with, and I would like that cooling ability. And the reason for that is because we're now going to be running a laser, possibly at all times when the main missile system is reloading. So we don't want to skimp on the thermal controls. And of course, every wire, whether red or blue, overvolt or undervolt, kind of diminishes the reactor's ability to cool itself. Right, give me a few moments to just test this out. Okay, testing the reload on this one was actually a little bit of a tricky one, but the way I had to do it in the end was to simply move the mech as far back as possible so that it was in a position where it could launch its rockets, but also then just keep the laser firing. And it seems to stabilize around 71, 72 degrees. If it isn't reloading and firing the laser, it will drop temperature from that amount. This is only the temperature that it reaches whilst firing the laser continuously and reloading. Now, generally speaking, if it's reloading, it's because it engaged something very far away, and probably it's not firing the laser anyway, but even if I'm doing both things at the same time, it won't overload the circuit, and it'll generally get quite cool the second it stops trying to reload. So this is thermally sound for the time being. Now, it has been pointed out that the triangle is just a flat upgrade to the miner mech. Now, that one's an interesting thing to see. It's got 12-second reload, 5-second firing time, so that's actually already a little bit better than the miner mech, which has currently got to have 2 ammo modules in order to get a 5-second firing time. And it does pull it down to 7.8, but this is definitely a contender. I wouldn't mind upgrading into the triangle for one of our mechs, and the Shellcracker being kind of alone in its use might be a perfect candidate for that upgrade, moving across the components into the triangle over here. I'm not going to do that right now, and I'm not going to do it for a very stupid reason. I want the Shellcracker to have its moment to shine. It was relegated to the sidelines for so long. I want to give it a chance. And so this is its chance. It might not last for very long, but damn it, the Shellcracker is going to see some action and is going to feel useful. Now, as far as energy goes, we're actually now in a much better place energy-wise, and there is a possibility that I could throw a little bit of something on here. For example, a shield module, but I would have to give way to one of these, and I'm not quite there just yet. Perhaps if we were on land, and it occurred to me that right now I'm using almost 2 orc slots to a mech in order to operate under the water. Even if I had to just replace those 2 orc slots with heat sinks, this would still be completely viable, and it's not going to be as big of an issue for us to sort this out on land as I was initially thinking. But for now, let's just go ahead and get the Shellcracker out there, and finally it is time. For me, it's been a long time, but finally it is time for us to go ahead and click this big old button over here. Now, 84.89. It just went down. 84.87. We are finally repairing the city. Oh my lord. It has taken us so long. Wounded humans, we got 46 people out of the hospital. Very happy with that. Good amount of resources were gathered. No overall efficiency improvement, but life systems have improved a little bit. Okay, not bad at all. Right, okay, well, let's have a quick look back here. We are continuing to upgrade down here. We are going to just beeline for this one. There's really nothing else for us to invest in right now. Nothing else that I really want to maximize at the very least. So let's go ahead, get that done. And maybe I could also pump that up as well, I suppose, a little bit here and there. I know we are trying to aim to get these up and running, and they will help the life support systems as well. But this one will affect the wounded humans. And although this is higher than life support, the fact that the people that we're getting out of the hospital, that number is just steadily going down. I really want to try and work on the wounded humans number there. Right, so moving back to the missions then. We have made our way for... I'm not going to keep marking all of these at this point, I don't think. We've not seen any new ones spawn, though, which is quite nice to see. Maybe there really weren't that many in that area. I think that's perhaps too much to hope for. But the Golden Titans are on the march. They definitely want their food. Now then, we cannot target this location, sadly. What we could do, however, is clear out this nest, which would then give us sight on this tile. That once we can clear out that tile, we could then possibly make a move on the city here. But of course, if we want to go through this area without having to go through this nest, I kind of need to use a nuke. And I really don't want to. The options for us are either go over land and switch out the mechs at this point, and at that point I'll just stay on land. Or we go around. Going around, we would still be able to hit more or less every single city, if that was our goal, but also we could just complete it. I think we want to go into the nest. We had a taste of the combat, and then I want to see how the Shellcracker does. So, with that said, give me a few moments to prepare the pilots. Okay then, we are ready to make our move. Now, I forgot to mention that the suggestion for putting the energy weapon onto the Shellcracker actually came from G-Man of Steel. Thank you very much for that suggestion. Now, on other comments that I received, Kenny Boyle warned that they've made a size plus BFG with the accelerator mod in their game, and it is completely infeasible. The size of the AoE is bigger than an entire screen, and while it is very effective at destroying Titans, it is also perhaps even more effective at destroying their own mechs. So that is definitely something we're going to have to bear in mind. But Sky and Destiny also pointed out that with regards to nests, they kind of have their own spawn tables once you're inside the nest. So regardless of the surface spawns, you can expect to see a little bit of everything in the nest. So duly noted on that one. Now, the actual ovums are going to be taken out as priority by Mini Murgle, of course. Then we are going to want the Millis removed. Now, the Millis are resistant to rockets, so we're going to have Frostfire targeting some of those, and I guess we will also have I mean, Nicola is quite effective at popping more or less anything, so sure, Nicola and Frostfire can focus on the Millis. Then we've got the Floss. We'll have Mr. Brown and indeed Mr. Pink targeting those. Finally, Shellcracker, and then Marshmallow and Digrick. Now, Shellcracker, we are going to be disabling their primary weapon. We are probably going to be disabling the primary weapon, or the BFG as well, for the same reason. That is microing the battle a little bit more specifically. But let's go ahead and get down to this fight and see how things go. And wow, it took so long. My lord, I have no idea why it's taking so long these days. This place is just a mess. Do we even want to take on the Brucus? We kind of do. So, let's just move up this way. The Brucus will make his way somewhere. Then we're going to move up that way. And honestly, sure, you can use the BFG or the Shellcracker's main weapon if you really want to. Just go ahead and destroy them. There we go. And now I want you to gather all of this, please. We learned our lesson the last time. As soon as we've picked all of this, I love that I wonder if the shield damage could ever actually burrow through rock. I'm going to say probably not. I'm going to say it doesn't have the penetration, but I love the fact that it is scorching the rock everywhere we go. That is genuinely quite cool. Alright, let's get in here and get into the nest proper and see what there is for us to see. Alright, there we are. And at this point, we're going to be wanting to watch this. Now, from what I understand, we're going to pause things there. There we go. This is the button that I wasn't clicking. Resources, walls, enemies, bosses, your squad, exit. So, yeah, it definitely exits. Alright, we've got resources over there. We've got a lot of fights in that direction. I'm not sure what that button is about. That is a dead end. There's a lot of fighting. Let's go in this direction, I think. So we're going to head this way. And again, we don't need to worry about anything. So there we go. We want to move up. And unfortunately, we're about to hit a something. There is also a boss over there. Right, let's get into this. Now, let's have a quick gander at what we're staring at. Nastiness is what we're staring at right there. So we need to reposition quickly. Move. Now, before we do anything else, want the BFG turned off, and I really should have put Shellcracker and the Nicola next to each other. Oh, good lord. Now, the thing about this, it's spewing out nests. It's spewing out the ovums. It's not spewing out enemies or anything like that. It's spitting the ovums at us, which is terrifying in its own way. Now, getting through here is going to be a little bit of a problem for us. Honestly, actually quite a big problem. So maybe I do want to turn on the Shellcracker at this point. Shellcracker, go ahead and engage. No, we don't. We are way too close to be able to handle that. Draw back a little bit, everyone. Just get a better view on things. And try and do as much damage as you can. Maybe we could afford to turn the BFG on. We will watch. Engage if you can. This is dangerous. Everything is so close right now. What on earth is going on up there? A little bit of everything is going on up there. Okay. This is not as easy as I would have liked. We are going to draw back, and we're going to try and use the Shellcracker and the BFG against everything. Oh, good lord! What are you? You are not what I wanted to see, is what you are. I am going to activate the Shellcracker. I'm going to allow you to engage. There we go. BFG is engaging. We're going to start clearing the path a bit here. That is what we needed. We needed to clear the way a little bit. Now, let me have a quick look. Is everyone okay? Is that sound just people getting dragged around? Because if that's all it is, it's fine. Yeah, it looks like that might be all it is. I would love to see the Shellcracker just unload on something at the moment, but the Shellcracker is not going to engage until it's got a much clearer line of sight. And at that point, we're probably going to see a lot of things just melt away. There we go. Shellcracker just destroyed oh my god! Shellcracker just deleted the map in a more spectacular way than we've ever seen the BFG do it. Alright, Shellcracker, it seems that you have found your calling there. Alright, you can all engage at this point. Just pop everything that you're able to. Everything needs to die. There we go. I might disable the Shellcracker's main weapon for a little bit. I don't want that just randomly turning on again. Right, we need to start making some progress. So march forward. We are getting surrounded, actually, so that is unfortunate, certainly. Let's not march straight into it, but oh my god, there's so many of them right up ahead of us. Let's clear the way a little bit. We spread things around a little bit too much with the BFG shots. Everything opened up. We have popped whatever was spawning the ovens, so we've now got a lot more clarity in here. How's everyone's oxygen supply? Everyone's doing okay so far, and health is more or less what it needs to be. Let's continue popping everything over here. Thankfully, the shots from the enemies are also being affected in the same way as ours were, so as long as we just keep moving around, we're probably going to be okay. We'll probably find it relatively easy to deal with this, because its shots can't move faster than we can move away from them. So we can literally just not be where the shots land, which is honestly the best way of dealing with anything, really. Ooh, why did the sound change there? I have to make sure everyone's okay. There's some armor damage. There's definitely some armor damage there. Frostfire and Nicola have both taken a bit, as has Shellcracker, Marshmallow, and Digrig. So it's a bit of armor wear, but overall, I would say we're doing all right now. There we go. Let's just do a pop of everything. Okay, let's march up. We cleared that enemy base there. Very nicely done. Took a bit of damage, but that's all right. That is generally okay. Right, so this is, I'm going to say, the coating that they have. Right, where are we moving next? Have we not gathered everything in here? I would assume we had, but perhaps not. Either way, it's time for us to start moving in this direction. We've got a couple of fights over there that we don't need to take. So how about instead we move this way? Got some more resources over there, but I'm not too fussed about it. It does look like this is the entirety of the map, though. Interesting. Alright. well, let's march forth. We've got a nice big open engagement here. At this stage, do we want Shellcracker active? Yes, Shellcracker, just do your thing, mate. Everyone engage. Just unload everything you've got at the same time. If you could, please. Oh, good lord, we all just got smacked by the explosion there. I mean, we popped everything here, but that was... How on earth did that manage to hit us? Oh, is it that one? Maybe it was. Everything is being repaired. Piccolo's being repaired. In terms of overall... Like, we hadn't even launched all of the rockets there. Okay, well, that was a very effective clear, I will say. But we did take a chunk of damage there as well. We can probably not afford too many more instances of that. Definitely. Let's keep the Shellcracker's main weapon turned off for now, then. Right. On to the map again. Let's continue marching forward. Got another exit over there. We'd have to fight through 1, 2, 3 more fights to get there. Got a bunch of resources in here, though, as well. We could start making a move down there. Now, obviously, the big concern is this. This is a big enemy. We'll continue marching forward. Right, let's pause. Why are we so close to everything? Alright. Let's move our mechs around a little bit more specifically. So, we will have the Shelob here. Let me just double check. Frostfire and then Nicola. So, Frostfire, you can be over here. Nicola, right there. Your weapons free. You can engage with the BFG. 4, then 5. Shellcracker is on 6, right here. So, 4 and 5. Shellcracker is going to be just ahead. Right here, we are going to be disabling the Shellcracker. We want the shields behind. Or maybe even the shields in front, actually. You know what? Maybe the shields are in front would be a better way to do this. We'll just have them kind of positioned around a little bit. We'll have Nicola up front, Shellcracker up front. That works. Let's have you just spread out just a little bit. Now, let's make sure that Shellcracker's weapon is disabled. It is disabled. Okay. Let's grab everyone, and I want to see you move first. Clear the way first. Remove that turret, please. Thank you. That is perfect. Now, Shellcracker. What I want from you is something very, very specific. I am concerned that this is too big of an explosion radius. Even if we get the missiles in there, it's going to do us too much damage. Okay, just everyone engage for now. Let's see the BFG clear the way a little bit. We do want to see this whole area opened up a bit for us. BFG is not engaging, though, interestingly. BFG doesn't have a clear line of sight, so it's not trying. That is a worry. Oh, there we go. We've cleared the way. Now, if I could get this to work, this will be ideal. Shellcracker, your weapon's free. Also, Shellcracker, you're very specifically going to do this and only this. Aim there. Unload. Unload.
Slow down.
Okay, it's not happening. They didn't go for the shot. Alright, Shellcracker, weapons disabled again then. Don't want you taking that shot if I can't guarantee you're not going to explode this. We just don't have the clearance to really make use of that weapon right now. But the perimeter we've set up...
Slow down.
I was going to say, the perimeter we've set up is fairly solid. BFG caught us a couple of times there. Reisel's health is starting to tank a little bit. Soundspheres as well.
Continue.
But overall, we have cleared the way. Okay. Enemies are still getting a bit too close. Still not liking that, if I'm honest. But, you know, it's something we can deal with. Getting another mech like Shelob would definitely help. Railguns just pummeling through here would be ideal. The Floss are getting fairly close, but thankfully the energy weapons are helping. And having the melee mechs on the side is doing a great job because they are, in fact, taunting.
Slow down.
What is happening there? Who's being attacked? Is anyone taking damage? Doesn't look like it. Okay. It's just slow and steady wins the race for this one, I'd say, as we just unload on something right in front of us and just take a face full of BFG. How are we doing? Bicklow and Soundsphere, their health is really starting to tank, as is Risel's at this point. Okay, we might need to reassess this situation. I'm not sure that our current weapon loadout is right for this. I could try and fight through 2 more and get down here, but honestly, I think we're just going to leave. I think we may want to go up on land. Maybe a nest where we're not fighting underwater would be a big help. Also, I'm really starting to feel that we want less of the big booms. Shellcracker, honestly, having that enormous deletion ability, it's fantastic. But when the enemy is only half a screen away, it's too dangerous. If only Shellcracker could literally just unload the second we were in play before that central area had time to actually engage, that would be ideal. We would be able to do that perfectly fine, but it's not what we've got. So we're just going to go ahead and we're going to retreat here. I think that is definitely the right thing to do. Let's not risk the lives of our pilots. But, yeah, if we had the ability to just unload Shellcracker, like, the second they spawn on the map, before the map is being filled with enemies, then it would be absolutely glorious. Right now, Shellcracker feels like a really good mech for dealing with regular areas. Yeah, we barely bought anything back from that, despite hitting a resource node. I'm not really sure how we're meant to gather from the resources then, given that. But Mini Miracle, you're going to get another medal. We brought everyone back, and that is to be celebrated. We actually did have armor repair that time. Okay, let's get the armor repaired. Okay then, well, not exactly what I wanted, but I am thinking it's going to be increasingly more important for us to move up onto land now. We've played around in the water for long enough. And to that note, we're going to try and head over here. So, this is going to take me a little bit, because I need to rejig pretty much all of the mechs to get rid of the underwater components. But if you bear with me, I will bring you back in just a moment with all of our pilots selected and all of the mechs ready to roll. Alright then, that was an extremely extensive refit. Now, we have got all of the mechs are temperature stable at about 35 degrees. Now, I realize that I'm going to have to tweak them again, but this was a major refit because they had all sorts of components that were specific for underwater. And now it's just, in some cases, just a case of changing some of the voltage wires, and in one or two, maybe knocking off something which I just threw on because I had the room in exchange for another heatsink and then rebalancing it. But this is the Shellcracker. Shellcracker is going with crit large weapons, and this one stabilizes around about 60% of its reactor, and I'm okay with that. I don't really feel that the programs that it runs really matter too much to be right on the edge of its reactor temperature threshold. The move speed obviously gets a little bit of a buff from that, but this is the mech that worries about that sort of thing. So there we go. We will commit you. Let's get you out there. Clonk. Next up, we've got the Marshmallow and the Dig Rig. Understand the Marshmallow and the Dig Rig share exactly the same configuration, so I'll just show you one. Once again, this one we have balanced. Actually, previously I hadn't balanced it too much for heat, a little bit, but this time I've balanced it quite close for heat, for as much as a single weapon mech can really manage. The Dig Rig and the Marshmallow now can get to about 85, 86-ish%, and no further, but both of them now have the extra evasion and stability mods, which is going to be great for them because they are primarily diggers, and they don't even need to run a heatsink for that, which is actually very, very nice. There we go. Let's just get you guys both out there. Next up, we have Mr. Pink and Mr. Brown, again, twinsies, so what I've set up for one, I've set up for both. They've got a triple red-lined laser there. We did actually have to set up double triple red-line motors to be able to carry this weight, but they do have, okay-ish armor. This definitely is a bit of a gap, but they've got 4 ammo modules, so they can sustain firing these rockets a lot better than before. They did have to have a heat sink in order to balance out the heat, but they manage it reasonably well. They managed to keep it relatively, in the sort of high 75 to sort of 85 region as they stabilize. So let's get those both back out there. You will note as well that the Shellcracker is still currently set up for rocket barrage. I may well change that. We will see. I'm actually got a lot of hope that for a wide open map, it's going to be perfect because you can just basically bore a tunnel straight to the Columbra, and that's it for that map. Nicolau we have over here. Ooh, actually we're getting quite close to our engineers. We might not be able to field everything. Let me check. Who can I field? Frostfire. We'd be able to field both the Shelob and the Frostfire, but the Nicola, the BFG, wouldn't be able to come with us. Ooh, that's a bit of a rough one. But the Nicola had to have a big upgrade. I also dropped the Tesla for now. The reason for that is that I feel the BFG already fits that role pretty solidly, and in exchange, we have now got the rocket pods over here. So we are maintaining the same type of ammunition, but the Nicola really dances on the edge of its heat tolerance. I had to play around with a couple of things. We have got a shield mod so that it does a little bit of damage, mostly because the Nicola has such a high damage, high energy threshold. I have considered, though I haven't done it this time, but I think maybe in the future we are going to redesign the reactor to give more redline opportunities at the expense of higher temperature thresholds, or just power. Perhaps we could pull the power down, thus dropping the temperature that we're going for, and then add some more red lines, because I feel that this energy is wasted. I mean, it's very nice to have a shield on the Nicola that can hold up to some stuff, but really, if this energy output was a little bit closer, and instead I had invested, kind of balanced the amount of energy we were producing to the amount of red lines I wanted to run, I think we could get a lot more out of the BFG than we're getting right now. I think that would really be possible. So it's something definitely looking forward to. Now I have to decide whether we're going to take out the Nicola. I'm going to leave the Nicola in the hangar bay for now. This was quite an extensive refit, so it unfortunately has meant that I've had to use up quite a lot of my engineers. But the Shelob, as you can see, no more undervolting, and we actually had to have 2 heat sinks for this. But the Shelob is not quite as dancing on the edge as it was before, like in the sort of mid 99%. It is now the 97 to 98%, but that's still plenty good for us right now. Once we get a nice big engine reactor in here, I know I considered swapping out the Nicola one, but I think the Nicola still needs the fusion to be able to run the BFG. But I am very tempted to take out the railgun from Frostfire and have dual railguns in the Shelob. It would truly be a ridiculous weapon of war then, and maybe even it wouldn't be the best command rig to have at that point. Yes, I know it doesn't have a drone, and so it's great for my commanders. But the Shelob is probably is either neck and neck or just below the Nicola in damage output potential. And Shellcracker is kind of an anomaly because it can have an amazing alpha strike, so if the fight doesn't last more than one volley, the Shellcracker probably comes out on top completely. And definitely in terms of terrain deformation, the Shellcracker is the MVP. But I'm starting to feel that the Shelob is really coming into its own. Nevertheless, let's go ahead and pop you out there, and then that means we're going to be bringing along the Frostfire as well. Frostfire, not too much of a change for the Frostfire, just ended up with more ammo more than anything, and that should all work out well. Okay, so with that done, time for us to get a fight on the go. Unfortunately, it's going to be one less person than usual, but I think we can make do. Okay, now, from the perspective of the video, I'm sure we're somewhere around the 20-minute mark, maybe a little bit beyond that. But as far as the recording gone, this is almost a 2-hour recording. It took me a very long time to do the refit, so I'm not sure how many more missions we're going to run or how much more extensive refitting we're going to do this episode, but we've definitely at least got time to actually get up on land proper. Now, we are going to be taking out Phoenix. You're going to be in the Frostfire. I actually did decide to put Phoenix in the Frostfire there. We've got Tubman, who doesn't have the ability to use drones, but is more accurate, and you're going to be in the Shelob, and I want you taking out the Floss. No, actually, go for the millies, sure. We will also have Shellcracker aiming for flows. Mr. Pink can be taking on the Millis. Unfortunately, we don't have everyone available. Wait. We didn't do anything to change the Shepherd. Could I perhaps get the Shepherd fit for service? No, again, I've already spent so long. I do apologize, but I feel weird not having everyone with us. I'm not gonna lie, it feels strange to be doing this now. So once again, Tubman, you go on down there. We will have, you know what? No, we do need you taking on the Millis, because the Millis are resistant to explosives. Get you in there, Shellcracker. We will have Mr. Brown also going for flows, then Marshmallow, and finally Digrig. Feels so strange. Right, okay, let's get out there. 20 nests, 6 Brucus. There's a potential for us to get quite a lot of goodies out of this one. Right then. There we go. Right, we are surrounded by nests, which means the very first thing that we are going to do is Shellcracker, your main weapon is disabled for now until I can clear out a little bit more of a good position for us to attack. I would very much like the group as a whole to move up here and just engage as you feel fit. Let's just annihilate everything. Thank you. Scooch over just a little bit. There we go. Let's get rid of some of these blocks around here, and then I think I'm going to have the Shellcracker just unload. To that end, then, let's go ahead and grab Digrig. Digrig, number 1, I want you to clear this out. This out. Down here, get down there, clear these out. Your stability is nice and high. I want Marshmallow to clear these out. And that might actually be enough. Maybe just shoot up there and then get back. Right, I would like my units to start repositioning very expressly around here. There we go, and another there. Everyone get into position. We should be able to easily deal with this. I have made sure that both the Digrig and the Marshmallow are reasonably well equipped for dealing with. Oh, damn it, I moved the Marshmallow down there, my bad. Let's make Marshmallow clear out just this a little bit. Maybe just scooch up there and then get back. We should be able to handle everything from these positions relatively safely. Get out there, Marshmallow. It's okay, Marshmallow. Don't worry, your shield should be able to handle everything the flows are throwing at you. Indeed, it absolutely did. And also, the Millis rockets were no trouble at all. That was glorious. Absolutely glorious. Right, at this point, I'm going to do the crazy thing. We need to clear a little bit more of the way. Let's get rid of some more of this. Oh, we've got artillery, of course. I'd forgotten about that. Just as well that we let that happen first, because I was about to take to instruct Shellcracker to go weapons free. Right. Okay, Shellcracker, it's time. Do not disappoint. Unload. You are number 4. Number 4, I would like you to A. Don't go for that one. Don't go for that one. Go up. I want a clear shot. Go for this. Engage. There we go. Beautifulness. Look at the... I loved how the rockets were like, yeah, okay, I've deleted the thing that I was aiming at. Let me just pick a new target. That was glorious. Okay, it took a little bit of setup, but that was absolutely ridiculous. There's no more map. There's just a tiny little bit over here, and that's only because there really realistically wasn't anything for the rockets to care about over there. Alright, well that definitely works. Continue mission. Let's just wrap this one up. Okay, Shellcracker can definitely still has a job as a regular map clearer. I don't think caves are really its forte, but you know, holding on to its shot until the path was clear and then just like deleting what was left of the map, that was definitely ultra satisfying. Not a bad haul there either. Actually better than some of the nests, if I'm perfectly honest. Right, okay then. Well, with all of that done, let's get everyone over here. We're going to have a couple of people who are going to need some vitality after the debacle in the nest. Oh god, Bicklow 31. Sounds fit at 33. Oof. Alright. We might run... just rest for a little bit and cycle people through the hospital. I really don't like doing that, though. I would at least like to try and pick out some very low-risk missions and run those. And that's effectively, I think, what we're going to do. We're going to start moving up and through all of this. I think that would be fine. Now, research and production. We've got no engineers available, so that's not a thing that we need to worry about. However, we might be able to make some more engineers available once we build them. Okay, we're going to take this 10 days, locking down a bunch of our scientists, but that should be alright. Alright, let's get back to the hangar. Research and production are done, so all that remains now is moving the city. So time for us to start marching forward. This can see everything, which means nothing visible around here. This can already see everything, so nothing visible around there. So actually, that was a nice and easy one. Those are the only places that this could possibly see nests. So all of that is nests. Wow, okay. Maybe the game really wanted us to fight some nests in the water. I'm not for that option. Thank you though, but no, I think we're good. Right, it's time for us to pass the next day, but you know what? Sure, we can have one more day. I'm fairly certain that this isn't a long episode as far as the actual usable footage goes. Right, coming up, we've got some armor, a new cabin, and a new mech. All right, pass the day. Tonk. Alright, wounded humans, only 39. Yeah, we really do need to get the wounded humans percentage up a little bit. But yeah, we are very slowly starting to see that go down, which is extremely nice to see. But yeah, we want to get more people out of the hospital wherever it is possible. So that means another investment over here. This was going to continue improving city damage, but nothing else. So this is why I've resisted this one for so long, is it really doesn't help us out in any big way. Yeah, we'll get this done, and then we'll finish off the air and water purifying systems. Then I think we'll come down to waste and mineral recycling. That seems to be a reasonable objective there. All right, now with all of these engineers available to us, let's have a look at what we've got. We've got a water mission, which we definitely could do because our mechs are currently fit for a much hotter temperature. This one is a hotter temperature, though, sadly. By about 20 degrees. Now, I've currently hooked up our mechs to be able to operate flat out at 30 degrees. So we'd be increasing the temperature by 20 degrees, which is a bit of a rough one. So, let's err on the side of caution. I'm going to bring everyone back, because there's every possibility that this is going to be a hot tile or that one. I'm going to quickly get their thermals set for 50 degrees, so don't mind me. Okay, there we go. I had to make some very, very minor changes. Most notable is the Dig Rig and the Marshmallow now had to lose one of their evasion modules in favor of a capacitor to help with the cooling of the weapon. But by and large, everyone is more or less the same, with a couple of blue lines extra pressure put onto the reactor here for the Shelob, just to try and keep it in line, because I again had to put another capacitor on that, but that was a little bit too much cooling, so I had to then add some pressure. Most notable, though, is the Shepherd, who I had to design an entire new reactor for. I cannot get the Shepherd even remotely close to overheating, so I intentionally put in a larger powered reactor, and I intentionally made the cooling awful on it. If you want to have a quick look here, this is garbage cooling, absolute garbage cooling on a hot reactor as far as ICEs go. But that is as good as I could do, and it only gets the Shepherd up to around about 62% all out. I guess it does only have one weapon. Now, if I had a more powerful reactor, I could afford more weight, so I could have 2 guns, and that would definitely help out there. Also, I need to quickly run some power down here to get you up to the correct amount. There we are. Right, but that actually puts us so close to our limit there that I can't actually get any more power out of this, or any more cooling in any meaningful way anyway, or rather heating, I suppose I should say. Right, let's go ahead and deploy everyone. We are now ready to go and fight in 50-degree temperatures, and I'm going to go ahead and just try and tweak everything up to the temperature that we're going to be fighting in, because it makes such a difference, especially for our mechs that have kinetic weapons. They really benefit from being close to their thermal cap. Now, finally, say hello to another Mr. Blue. But wow, does this look like an underwater mech. Still only 2 orc slots. Now, I know so many people saying, well, why aren't you taking the underwater mech out into the water? Because of 2 orc slots. That's the long and short of it. I don't feel that having 2 auxiliary slots makes these mechs viable. Maybe with a fusion reactor, because then I can do a lot more with the other components. But even still, I really don't feel that these are viable with only 2 orc slots. Maybe if I had an incredibly specific mission, then maybe. The triangle, though, I feel the triangle isn't too bad. It's got 5 orc slots, which, this feels like an upgrade to the mining mechs, and that's certainly what I've seen mentioned in the comments. So maybe we will be swapping these over, but it doesn't have melee, so for some of the mining mechs, this would be an upgrade potential for them, but not obviously for the Marshmallow or the Dig Rig. Right then, we have got this location here that we're going to go and crash in on, and if I don't have anything else viable, then we can also always do a water mission, just sans my rocket launchers, because obviously catastrophe awaits there. But I could just swap out a heat sink for the needler rounds. Well, I guess I could also do that for the rocket launchers too, the torpedoes. So that wouldn't be a particularly big refit. Right, give me just a second to prepare our troops. All right then, this is a nice open map, by the seams of it. Not a lot of chaff in between these rock faces. I mean, I say open compared to a cave, it's open. Right, let's get, where are you, Mini Murgle? In the Frostfire in command, targeting the nests. We are then going to have Shelob targeting Millis, along with, sure, we'll get the Nicola also targeting Millis. Shellcracker can target the Floss, as can Mr. Brown. We will then have Mr. Pink targeting the Ares, and finally Marshmallow and Dig Rig in the last position. Shepard's going to have to sit this one out. Honestly, at this point, Shepard is one of the weakest mechs that we have until we get a new reactor all set up for them. Right, wish me luck. Okay, looks like we're immediately engaging here, which is not exactly what I wanted to see. Shellcracker, disable your main weapon, please, and thank you. We've got a lot of quicksand on this map. Far more than I would like to see. But alright, let's march the group up. We want to delete a lot of the obstructions here. Let's just shimmy on over. We'll be able to take out a lot of the Floss and the other creepers that are coming up our way. From here, we'll be able to probably pop that nest in a moment. Activating the Shellcracker here would be amazing, because we deleted an enormous part of the map. But I want to remove things that the Shellcracker might be encouraged to attack that would be disadvantageous for us to engage right now. Okay, from here I think we can move on down. Have we got any obvious views of things we want to attack here? No, we've actually deleted more or less everything. That's a bit of a shame. Alright then, peeps, I want you to get down here, and at this point Shellcracker is weapons free. There we go.
Slow down.
We just unleashed
Slow down.
the power of a sun on a single nest.
down.
What just happened? Who's being hit?
Continue.
Who's being hit?
Continue.
Oh, it's the artillery. Never mind. It wasn't us being hit. It was the enemy trying to hit us and then panicking. Once the rockets were in flight, the Clumber was like, "Wow, there's nothing else when we do. Launch the missiles. Don't care where they land. Nothing's going to survive anyway." Okay, that was pretty good. Deleted pretty much everything that was left on the map. All right, let's carry on. We have got some mechs now that for regular, like, we're going back to the beginning of the game at this point, being on land and not having awful weather effects, you know, just a couple of, like, you know, spots of swamp or quicksand. This is almost a nostalgia trip for us, and how ridiculously powerful we are compared to how we were before. Like, at this point, it's just press the button to delete the map. And it's not even with the BFG at this point. Right. It's a hell of a thing when you start thinking of the BFG as a scalpel, just because you've got other things that are even more ruinously destructive to compare it to. Before I thought it was like, you know, smacking a nail with the sun, but now I understand that that's precision tool right there. The BFG is for making precision cuts in the landscape. The shellcracker is for deciding the landscape is displeasing to the eye and should simply be deleted. Right, okay, now let's have a quick look here. There are 3 nests around here, that's fine. There's definitely something over here then. You can see 2, which, well, this can see 3, so there are a couple of options there. Now, can we have a look over here? Only 29 degrees. We could easily do this with the troops that we have got. Okay, I think maybe Shellcracker not coming out on this one. Shepherd is going to be with us for this one. So, okay, time for us to go and find another clue. Give me just a second to prepare the pilots. All right, then. We're going up against 14 nests, 5 brewkers. I just noticed how ridiculous our resource situation is, even with the kind of the flop that was the alien nests. Phoenix Celia is going to be piloting the Shepherd for this run. We are going to have Shelob targeting the Floss as well as Frostfire. Following that, we're going to have Nicola and, I guess, Mr. Brown and Mr. Pink targeting the Flagella, and then finally Marshmallow and Digrig targeting the Operarius. Now, this one's going to be a bit more of a tricky map for us to navigate, but assuming that we don't have too many nests right around us, it is just going to be a case of letting the BFG delete everything down here. Now, I was really tempted to bring the Shellcracker as a consequence of that, but again, the BFG is much more of a scalpel when it comes to navigating these tighter maps, whereas the Shellcracker, I mean, I might just find myself in a position where I can never activate its main weapon, which would kind of be a bit of a downer. Right, let's have a look at what we're looking at. Nothing too terrible here, all things said and done. I want everyone up here first then, and then I want Marshmallow to quickly delete this and then return. And I would also like Digrig to very quickly delete this and then return. Once that's done, we're going to move out of this area. There we go. Thank you very much, Digrig. Let's get you back. Let's actually move everyone over here instead, because you're going to be a little bit of a problem, especially if BFG decides to go for you. Right, we should be in a position here where we can deal with everything coming our way. BFG is not going to bother with the little Operarius, but it will happily delete the Floss, and also the Brucus that are then exposed as a consequence. There we go. Perfect. Again, BFG is a scalpel. When there's not 2 of them, when there's 2 of them, the interference, that the way they juggle enemies makes everything so unpredictable. So I think overall having a single BFG is perfectly fine, which is a good reason why having maybe a size plus BFG is the way to go. Since if you're only going to have one, you may as well have it twice as powerful. That being said, obviously, bad as the sadness, because we were trying to move away from the sun laser there. Took a little bit of damage that I would have liked to have avoided there, but overall we seem to be okay. Right, so let's continue moving down. Try not to get too close to them, BFG, thank you. Right, let's continue moving down through here. BFG may well delete that wall, which it has done. Let's not follow the sun laser. The sun laser causes all kinds of problems. I forgot how the sun laser seems to trigger the BFG shots in a weird way. It's very unfortunate, that. Very unfortunate. Right, let's get all the way down. We should be able to then easily pop the Columbra thanks to the Shelob and all of those shots, and we've also activated the turret as well. Not terribly bad. It took a little bit more damage than we needed to. Would have loved it if we could have gone through that without taking any, but oh well. If wishes were horses, then beggars would ride, as the saying goes. There we go. And that's the lot. Nice and easy. Now, let's have a look. Will this tell me what else? Oh, it did, actually. There we go. We've got 3 new motors, 2 new react. Honestly, I should just break them down. At this point, there's no reason to have those with us. Okay, well, that was another city mission. So, Phoenix, you're definitely going to get a medal for that one. There we are. And let's go and have a look at our poor pilots. They've been through the wars in this last couple of episodes. They really have. Also, Encrypt has got a level up, so we can now decide what we're going to invest that into. Of course, Encrypt, much like Isham right now, has got drones and taunting. But outside of that, I think evasion would be the right one for you. Honestly, I really do. Yeah, we're going to go grab evasion for your level 9. Mini Muggle has reached level 10 and is still gaining experience. That is huge. I wasn't sure if 10 was going to be a max level. A lot of people have talked about level 10, but I'd not noticed anyone talking about anything beyond level 10. So I was starting to wonder. But no, it looks like we can go further. Right, but also we've got a level up for Winterblade, who currently, you know what, sure, we'll get the drone repair. I don't mind having everyone on the team able to make use of those drones where it makes sense, of course. Right, so let's have a quick gander. Of course, we're going to need to pop Rizel in for some vitality. Bicklo as well. We're going to be doing this for a little while. Goodness gracious me, look at that. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 people below 50 vitality. That is painful to behold. Painful to behold, I tell you. Clone 5, you're actually getting close to the point where we're going to want to bring you out on a mission. In fact, you're probably already there, if I'm perfectly honest. It's just I don't have too many missions for you to run. That being said, perhaps 1 or 2 might be possible. We do have a 107-degree map there. I'm probably going to err on the side of caution around these. We are going to have to go through here, unfortunately, unless I want to go through here, which actually is probably the smaller of the upgrades, but Alright, so situation we find ourselves in. If only this wasn't as hot as it is. Ooh, that's a very interesting map. If we could clear this out now and move forward, the storm would move forward, and then we could move forward again, and then the storm would move forward again, and we'd be on the tail end of the storm, and thus we'd only be held up by a single day. But that is not what we've got here, unfortunately. Also, where did the other clue get popped up? Did we not get a clue for that? It appears not. I thought every city we went to rewarded you with a clue. But I'm not seeing another clue, sadly. Unless it is underneath one of the... Oh, man, imagine that. It's actually on one of the nests. That would suck. Oh, well. Either way, though, we're going to be held up here. So I think probably what we're going to do in the next episode, we're going to march forward. We're going to rejig for... well, we'll probably do a mission around this area if we're able to. Although that one is also a pretty hot map. That one we could do. So we could run a mission here, run a mission over there, and then start marching upwards. And by then the storm will be on us. And we're just going to be we're going to have to sit still for that period of time, no matter what we do. Either that, or we actually just start waiting preemptively. That is definitely an option as well. But the last thing for us to do is to designate strategic movement. More and more and more nests are showing up, so let's just go ahead and mark those. We've got a lot of Titans on the screen now, and they're going to start very aggressively spreading the biomass around there. If you want to try and win a map and clear it completely, I have been told in the comments that you really need to clear the biomass locations quickly, because if you don't, then the spawn rate of the Titans gets to a point where you are going to be having to fight multiple Titans every single day. It's just going to be an enormous slog. So you have to do it quickly. If you're given the opportunity, get down there, start clearing these areas as soon as you possibly could. I guess for us that would have been around here. Once we'd cleared the 3 pings, just heading up and heading straight towards it so we could start trying to fight the Titans early. as they were spawning and clearing these areas. But considering we still haven't even managed to clear a single nest, yeah, I'm not sure how likely that would be. Right, as for research, there's really nothing for us right now. Tomorrow, though, let's have a quick gander. We're going to get a new motor, and then the day after we're getting fusion, so that's going to be a lot of scientists. I don't think there's anything unlocked beyond that, but there will be more motors unlocked beyond this, and we're actually getting very close to having nothing left to research, or at least nothing left that I would want to research at the very least. As for engineers, we've got 311 and some production to do. I definitely think we are going to want... How many would we require for a single railgun? That is a good question. I could put together a single railgun in just 5 days. Sure, let's nail one down. Let's get one of those built. I wouldn't mind another Tesla, if I'm honest. But in the meanwhile, I would actually like to get some more of these built as well. Getting the highest tier strike face, also a good one. Yeah, I think this is reasonably good. In fact, we're going to get 2 loads of that. All right, that's our production queue for now. We're going to get another spot open up tomorrow. We can possibly pop in another Tesla at that point, but I'm not actually feeling that we really need to, if I'm perfectly honest. All right, well, with all of that said and done, though, we have come to the end of the episode. I really do hope you have enjoyed. There was an awful lot of engineering, but it was stuff that you've seen me do multiple times before. It was mostly testing and making tiny tweaks. So I hope you didn't mind me cutting most of that out. Do let me know how you felt about that, though, and if I can tweak the ratio of cut to included content, then do let me know. But that is going to be it for us for today. So until next time, and as always, thank you very much for joining me, and I hope to see you in the next. But until then, do take care, everyone.